Hello everyone, welcome back to the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2024. We are now in the round of 16 and ready for our second match of the weekend coming in right after that first one before. We're going to have Philippines versus Vietnam, two very strong teams here as well. I'm Potassium F here commentating alongside Bulma Gamer PH76.
Hello, thank you so much for saying my username correct. I am indeed Bulma Gamer PH76. How are you doing, Potassium Man?
No, I'm doing good, thank you. I can't get over that name still. But anyway, we're gonna have an interesting match here. Philippines, of course, the winners last year for 7 Key World Cup, but this year missing some of the players that were in the team last year, but still extremely strong. Seeding number 4, of course, Kura being the absolute demon that they are in the 7 Key World Cup. But Vietnam as well, I feel like Vietnam has had a very good showing last week and in the qualifiers, seem to be improving year after year in the 7 Key World Cup here.
I mean, Vietnam has been a rising star in the 7K World Cup scene, at least from what I've observed. Like, they first qualified last year, I think, and that's with the 16-team lineup. Now it's round of 20, now it's 24 teams qualified, and Vietnam is almost on the half ranking, which is number 12. That being said though, their improvement certainly is showing, but now they're faced with a very tough opponent, the Philippines, the defending champions of last year.
Yeah, can't get that much tougher really as far as the opponents go, but this is still fairly early on in the tournament. The map pools are not quite, pushing the physical limits just yet for players like Kura to really carry a match. And as well, looking at some of the scores that Vietnam got last week, I'm looking at some of the rice maps in particular, the Chord Stream map, Fish Cake getting a 996.8k on. That kind of accuracy, if you manage to pull it off in a map pool like this here as well, then even, small mistakes from Team Philippines could cost them points here.
That being said, protecting LN1, I kind of disagree with that, because, I don't know, I kind of disagree with that kind of protect, because Philippines is known to be really good at LNs, and I guess that's
so interesting, actually.
Yeah, I don't know, I just disagree with that protect in general.
Yeah, I would have absolutely expected, given Vietnam's scores that I've seen so far, I would have expected something like Rice 2, or even Wave Tapper if they really felt like getting spicy with it. But LN1 means that, well, first of all, it means that Vietnam can play it, right? That's a good start. So, in some kind of ways, it can be seen as something positive to say about Vietnam's skill sets, but as you said as well, the Philippines can absolutely play LN1, and they can probably play it very well, so I think it is a dangerous pick for Vietnam to go for.
It is indeed dangerous. So, wait. Huh.
Oh, okay.
Wait, Philippines is banning LN. And
this is also something I didn't expect. I would have thought Philippines would to ban one of the easier to act ones. Maybe. Okay, and Vietnam banning the speed pick. This may be going in the opposite way than I would have expected.
I expected it to be the other way around. I thought the Philippines would have banned rice. Okay, to be fair, Vietnam banning rice, Arona and Kura as a duo it's certainly terrifying for accuracy. But also, not to mention, Arquin has got to be one of the more well-balanced players, especially on the early game side.
Yeah, I feel like in a matchup such as this, right, it's very hard to really pick based on Philippines' strengths and weaknesses, because they basically have none at this stage, right? Like, I feel like Philippines should be able to play everything very well. I think most of this picking strategy between the two teams should really boil down to how comfortable Vietnam is at different maps, because if Vietnam can get, close enough and manage to get a double FC, manage to get good accuracy on some of these picks, then, being that close, any single small mistake could give them the point. And speaking of that, LN1 being picked first, I'm really interested to see what happens here, because you know, as I was just talking about, any small mistake on a map like this will absolutely cost you a whole point if you were to miss on a map with only, you know, how many notes does this have? About 1,000?
I don't know. Honestly, this is my first time looking at the charts, so I can't really tell. But then again, Philippines having Curry and Arkwin is the interesting lineup. I would have thought someone like Sani would have subbed in, because I know how well Sani plays and long notes in general. But Arkwin Olivares is certainly a good backup to Curry here. Meanwhile, Vietnam having Fishcake and Hitori, good duo. I would definitely be terrified of both sides. It's just, I really think the well-roundedness of each team is going to be the factor here. Like, I think both scores will have the same like top, but the bottom is going to be what's going to be the game changer here.
Yeah, really the mistakes in this one. And the interesting thing about this pick as well is that it is by far the most niche pick of the entire pool. That there can be very, very strong players that you'll find are just not very comfortable with patterns such as this, and they can definitely drop combo at some point. So maybe that is the angle that Vietnam's trying to go for, seeing if there's any lack of comfort. But we'll see. We'll see if anyone finds any breaks on this one. Of course, the start nice and calm. I don't think anyone here should be missing just yet, but it's already starting to get much denser.
Fishcake finding a drop. It's not really can't really blame them, because the thing about slow LNs like this, it's very easy to find mistakes. Very easy for you to end up releasing some of these because of really how coordination works in 7 key. And honestly, at this rate, the consistency matters more. As I say that, Kura finds a drop. Very unfortunate. So that's another drop on Kura's side.
Hang on a second. Vietnam might be onto something here. Kura of all players as well. Fishcake is finding another drop though, and this, that's a big ACK drop down to 97%. You can see how quickly that score lead can swing back and forth when, you know, the note count is just so low.
That was unfortunate. Another miss on Kura, but Hitori trades it back. Arkwin Olivares holding the only full combo in this lobby. Very impressive work from Arkwin. Like, we all, like, man, these slow LNs are some of the toughest ones to really find your comfort in. And Arkwin's just really in there. Hitori having the highest accuracy in the lobby. But here's the thing. Like, when maps only have a low note count, the misses are gonna matter so much more.
Yeah, so one player FCing this map can absolutely carry the score, and I think we're going to see a pretty large score difference between Arkwin and everyone else if he manages to keep up this full combo that is. And Fishcake with another miss. This score lead is starting to get bigger and bigger. We're in the outro already, and it is looking like this is shaping up to be a bit of an early break point here.
This is why I was really skeptical about this protect. Like, Arkwin, I think that's going to be a full combo, right? It is a full combo from Arkwin Olivares. Very good scores across the board, considering how difficult it is. But Arkwin clutching up the full combo. Kura's ratio is clearly the best among everyone. But man, Arkwin, that consistency, very commendable. That 150 from Hitori kind of gave Arkwin the MVP, but overall it doesn't really matter. Team score is what matters the most.
Yeah, very good break. You can kind of see what Vietnam was going for there. Like, Hitori did look very good overall on that one, and we did see Kura actually struggling with a few misses there in the middle of the map, but you know, Fishcake as well struggling a little bit more than Kura was. So that ended up being not the best first pick in hindsight now. And hang on a second. This is Philippines picking the quad stream pick, which I feel like, you know, Vietnam had a very, very strong quad stream performance last week. I would be a little bit concerned.
I would have thought someone like Arona would have subbed in for the Olympic, but it looks like Arkwin is gonna continue on the run. Man, like, I'm gonna say this as someone who really, someone who's really interested to see how everyone's performing. I can say this: Vietnam's hopefully gonna be able to put up a fight. Like we did see on the Olympic, sure, the difference was 60,000 points, but at the very start, at the first half, you could clearly see Vietnam had the fighting chance.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am very interested here because I know Vietnam's rice accuracy has looked very, very good. And this is, if anything, this is definitely one of those maps where we can see, very strong accuracies carry a map. But of course here, Kura as well, you expect Kura to have very strong ratio as well. Arkwin staying in, as you said, off of the FC, off the MVP performance from the first map, maybe feeling pretty good today.
Yeah, probably feeling really nice on the right side. As much as we know how good Philippines is on the long note side, we should definitely not underestimate how good they are on the LNs. Oh, wait, was that client? Okay, that was definitely client, right? Yeah, that was client. That was client. I got so nervous there.
All good, all good. Very, very high accuracies right out the gate here. Hitori actually dropping a little bit down to 99.6, but nothing too serious right now.
Unfortunately for Vietnam, Philippines is well balanced with both of the players holding a 99.9 accuracy. Fishcake finding a few 200s. I feel like a 100 was slowly in there too. Hitori dropping that much of an accuracy tells me one thing: if Philippines ends up making one mistake, it's really going to their side. But it's certainly not over yet. Think about the map like this is it's very straightforward. So if a team makes a mistake, they'll be able to climb back up, yes. But let's see, the other side is keeping this consistency. They're just gonna keep on going really because of how straightforward this is.
Yeah, but Hitori, a lot of 200s there going into a miss, dropping below 99% accuracy, and this lead is going to grow quite a lot. Kura's still on 99.9. That is incredible accuracy from both of the Philippine players. Fishcake as well holding in there. That is really just the difference between Hitori and Kura right now. Yeah. Into the second half of the map. Feels like there has to be some massive collapse. 30,000 points is quite a large lead here for the Philippines.
It's ridiculously big, 30,000 points. And considering that there's probably only like 30 or 45 seconds left, Hitori fighting another miss, I think that kind of seals the deal. Arkwin and Kura holding very solid accuracies. Fishcake is also doing really well. 99.78 is certainly commendable. Hitori unfortunately finding misses. That's gonna seal the deal. I know that there's still time, but it's really going to be the densest part here. And if you're already making misses on the earlier parts, there's definitely going to be a chance where you miss now, and that's what happened to Fishcake.
Yeah, unlucky miss at the end for Fishcake, ruining the FC there, but ultimately did not matter with these kind of FCs, with these accuracies on the side of Philippines there. Kura almost the score v1 double S with, a casual 1-to-26-ish ratio.
That is indeed a really good score from Kura with that ratio. Fishcake actually had a better ratio than Arkwin, but that miss really made the score a lot lower than it could have been. Meanwhile, Hitori, I think Philippines saw something that they could exploit on. Look at that 200 count on Hitori's side, 56. And considering this is one of the more straightforward picks, that's a very scary thing. Because if that's how we're going to perform on something straightforward, how are you going to perform in something very technical?
Yeah, definitely not a good sign going forward for the second player for Vietnam here. I do think, just looking at the players who are online in the tournament server right now, I think one of Vietnam's main players isn't here, being Seiren Shikino. But also at the same time, Philippines, I think, only have these two players.
It kind of looks like that. You're going for Wave Tapper. That, I don't know what to feel about this pick. Because, again, you're dropping 200s on one of the easier picks of this entire high school. And you want to pick a core jack map, which arguably has denser portions. So that kind of just gives me the question, why go for something that sort of has patterns that exist on a different map?
But consider also that I believe Moni is online, who did play, I think Moni played in one map last week, and it was the Core Jack. So I think this is actually Vietnam's full Core Jack team that they have present, which might be one of the reasons they are picking it here. And I do believe they do have fairly decent AC among these two players as well. We just saw Fishcake perform very well in terms of the ratio just before. So as long as they manage to hold the combo, you know, this is I mean, of course, Core Jack is something we do expect as well. Philippines should have insane accuracy on also. But if there is something like a miss that we're seeing for either team, that could be what decides it.
Not to mention, I just realized something, alright? Like, here's the thing. There's no Arona in the Philippines, and I think Vietnam is very much aware of that fact. Arona is one of the Philippines' better 7K Core Jack players in this country, and I think Vietnam's trying to exploit that.
Yeah, actually, look at this right out of the gates. This accuracy is a bit closer than people may have thought right here. All four players above 99.9. There's a very slight advantage over to the Philippines, but still very early on in the map. Oh, that's a really bad act drop from Fishcake. All the way down to 99.6. Still time to bring it up, and it is, importantly, still a full combo. Oh no. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry, Fishcake.
Never mind, this Fishcake finds a drop. This is exactly why I wasn't entirely sure about this pick. Because Moni, yeah, this is why. Look, Moni finding a drop. Again, this is not even one of the denser portions. The denser portions come in later. And if we're already making mistakes now, then there's certainly gonna be mistakes made later once it starts to get dense. And once the fatigue starts to kick in, it's gonna get a lot worse.
Yeah, it's looking not so great for Vietnam. A few curses, unfortunately, from us may have cost Vietnam a little bit of a lead. 23,000 points, still 2 full combos for Philippines, and maybe the curse works both ways. Kura has a very nice combo right now.
Indeed, it is very nice, but so does Arquin. Moni and Fishcake are trying to get it back. Their accuracies are still relatively strong, but that being said, we really need to make sure that their accuracy on these dense section is really gonna keep up, because it's just gonna get denser and denser and denser, plus the fatigue factor kicks in.
Yeah, and at this point, you know, even if there is a miss from Team Philippines, their accuracy is so high that, you know, even with a miss, Kura is still going to be above, like, 99.8k, for example, still going to be well above Vietnam's accuracy, so it's not really going to matter all that much. And another couple misses there from Moni towards the end, as we're getting into some of these little bit of a stream bursts in between the jacks. But Philippines are unfazed. And that's a really high team score here, 69 300s for Kura with the score v1 double S, only 1 200 from Arquin.
That's a very nice score from Kura indeed. Unfortunate 200 from Arquin, but not to mention Fishcake also finding a few 50s and a miss. Honestly, just looking at these two team scores, they both have really good accuracies. In fact, we only see 3 200s across the board, but that consistency, 5 misses in total from Vietnam to 0 in the Philippines. That's actually a big difference considering how Core Jack works. It goes to show that Core Jack's really a bait in terms of misses and 50s. And if you're the side that's missing a lot, I really think Core Jack is not the way to go. So on a tactical side, that was not a good pick.
But again, to be fair, if you are the side that's missing a lot, I don't think there's a good pick.
That's fair, but then again, 9 dump. This is the ODE 8.5 map. And, oh sorry, 7.5. I stand corrected. I think the 8.5 map was Rise 5. But we saw how this map was. It's a very technical map, has a lot of graces, mini jacks and all that. So I can definitely see why the Philippines wants to pick this. It's a good strategy to counter Wave Tapper with this. Because you're going from density, which has a lot of parts where you can miss, to technicality, which has even more places to miss.
And even more as well, there are plenty of places to miss that I think Vietnam will probably struggle on a little bit more than Philippines will. But at the same time, there is some kind of security in this pick, in that because of the patterns, because of the snappings that are so varied throughout this map and all the bursts that are involved, this is absolutely a map where one team can have a absolutely gigantic AC lead. And I feel like Philippines, given what we've seen so far, should have a very large accuracy lead over Vietnam. So at the end of the day, I think misses might not even matter, even if Philippines manages to find one, which I don't think they have really so far this match.
Well, they really have to start finding opportunities, because if they do not, then they're going to be in a 4-0 situation. If, let's say, the Philippines does perform as expected. Because anything can happen, really. And as I say that, Moni finds a drop, which is very unfortunate. But this is going to be setting the tone for the rest of this map. As again, like what I said, this map has a lot of technicality, a lot of places where you can find any mistakes. Moni and Fishcake already finding some act drops here and there, which is not a good sign of things to come.
Yeah, we can definitely see if you're not super comfortable with playing these, like, you know, really playing precisely with these kind of snaps, which are not easy to do at all. You can see how hard this act will drop for both of these players on Vietnam, both below 99% right now. Both Kura and Arquin also dropping lower than what we've seen in the previous maps, understandably, but still holding very high 99s. And Moni finding another miss there.
I mean, it is a technical map, so like the accuracies we're seeing across the screen is very normal. Like we're seeing 99s really for the most part, and in my opinion, that's already very impressive. Holding a 99 on an 87.57k technical map is super impressive. Goes to show how well their coordination is, and what Moni is doing right now is super difficult. Like, you gotta give them the props really that they deserve.
Oh, absolutely. Even like all of the players here are actually just insane at the game in general. But we can really see the difference between what is the reigning champions of the 7Key World Cup here on the Philippines side, and why they are so strong at the game is that even on these insanely hard to act patterns, they are getting 99.6%. And on the FCs for both of them as well. We're seeing a 70,000 point lead become because of that as we're getting into the last quarter.
These full combos are absolutely insane. Like, Vietnam's honestly performing really well, despite having 298. Like, this performance is really insane from them. Philippines slowly running away, gaining accuracy when needed, performing when it's needed the most. Vietnam trying to clutch up, trying to claw back the lead, but unfortunately, we're approaching the end of the map, really, and I think there's nothing you can do.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Kura. But, is that full inverse?
Yeah, of course, just like, I don't really think it doesn't really matter in the long run. They still win that.
Okay. Kura messing around a little bit at the end of that map, but ultimately didn't matter too much here. Philippines with another very strong team score here, moving on up to map point already here, 4 in a row at the start. But it is Vietnam that gets the next pick. There is, I mean, if they want to go with Rice still, there is one more Rice map. We haven't really seen much of the LNs or the hybrids. We've only seen that first LN pick at the start. But I don't know if Vietnam are going to feel comfortable going into those.
I will say this. Vietnam might want to try maybe a hybrid at this point. Like, you saw how LNs went, you saw how Rice went, maybe go for a hybrid. That being said, I don't think Rice 5 is the way to go. Like, think of it this way, Vietnam banned Rice 1. Okay, they're going for hybrid 1. I think that's hybrid 1. There we go, yeah, hybrid 1.
BH1. But yeah, this is going to be, I guess, the more straightforward out of all of the hybrid picks. Of course, you know, hybrid 2 being a little bit too technical, I feel like we might see something similar to what we just saw in the tech pick. And hybrid 3 being the harder one of the pool. I think this one, if you were to pick a hybrid, this is going to be the one that Vietnam would pick. So it makes sense in that regard. And I guess as well, you know, as you said, just trying something a little bit new.
Well, now you're putting in Hitori here. I mean, interesting swap, but I do think Hitori they're probably going for the consistency route here, because even though Hitori's accuracy on, I believe, Rise 2 had 46 200s or something like that, they only had like 3 misses or something. So I think that's what Vietnam is trying to go for, trying to hold the consistency and ensuring that they're able to secure a point. Not to mention also a solid performance on the first map. What is this?
Oh, wait, no.
No, you
Surely
can't be
not.
doing this.
Surely not.
No, you can't be doing this.
Not in the World Cup, Kura.
Oh,
Oh,
well then.
no. Wait, how is he playing this?
Okay, well, Arkwin finding a miss or something like that. So right now, the lead is actually slow in Vietnam side because of that miss from Arkwin on the virus. Very unfortunate first drop. But that being said, luckily, this is still at the very start. So, this lead is not going to mean too much until we get to the harder sections where you see a lot of rolls and LNs. This is what really makes this a hybrid thing.
I can't take my eyes away from Kura's screen right now. How is he playing this? With 99% accuracy?
Oh my goodness.
This feels a little bit silly.
And Hitori finding the drop. I think this is actually gonna slowly give the lead to the Philippines. And that's another one. Yeah, this is where the rolls and the LNs really start to kick in. Oh my goodness. Wait, there's no way.
This is... I don't know what's happening here. Fishcake finding a drop there as well. So now Vietnam with 2 drops against the only one from the Philippines, very early one from Arkwin. And Kura... I can't believe I'm saying this. Kura's the only one on the full combo.
There's no way.
Kura has the second best app with the only full combo on this lobby. If Kura MVPs this, I don't know what to say.
Nah, I have a... Yeah, look, I'm trying to find the right words right now, but man, these LM rolls, and we saw those rise really affecting Vietnam, but Kura's just really just killing this entire map, being the only full combo despite all that. And right now, Fishcake and Hitori have been giving away misses that the Philippines would really be happy to take. Arkwin holding the 99 point. That's a very bad, very messy miss.
Oh
but
no. You know what that means? I think Kura's now ahead in the score.
That being said, wait a second, that's sort of dangerous actually. Lead is going down, but Fishcake finding the miss at the end. I think that seals the deal. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think Kura takes the MVP. Yes! Yes, he does!
The MVP. Kura took the MVP. Oh, that feels so wrong. That's so wrong. You can't be doing that in the NWC.
Well, good game, well played to everyone. Wait,
yeah, that was actually...
Wait, Kura didn't do that on purpose. Look at that, my scroll reset. Yeah, that wasn't on purpose.
There's no... I don't even know how to react to that, but congratulations to the Philippines. 5-0 manages to get the sweep over Vietnam. But Vietnam will still have another chance in this tournament, of course. Very tough matchup, this one, but they're going to be sent down into the losers bracket, where they'll get to play again next week. While Philippines, of course, getting to move on to the winners' quarterfinals.
And I'm at a loss of words right now, okay? But regardless, congratulations to the Philippines, like what you said, for advancing to the winners bracket quarterfinals. And for Vietnam, still a good performance. There's definitely more opportunities for them to come on the losers bracket. So, yeah, will we be able to see the bracket though?
Yes, actually, I was just going to say as well, I believe both of these teams' opponents have already been decided. Philippines will move on to verse Japan next week in the winners quarterfinals, which is going to be a very, very interesting match given what we've just seen from the past 2 ones here. And Vietnam will go on to verse Spain, I believe, in the losers bracket, who played last week in the round of 24.
Oh, I see.
That's actually really interesting. And yeah, I mean, I would really be interested in how this match pans out. Then again, Philippines Japan, certainly a match to look forward to. But another one that we should be looking forward to is the match that's going to be happening 30 minutes from now, which is going to be Thailand versus Russia. Man, two countries that are like really, really good in the 7K scene.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I believe Thailand and Russia are actually fairly close seeded as well. So I think that is going to be a very interesting match to see for sure here coming up in 29 minutes. We've got a couple more matches in this kind of Saturday block we see here. So make sure you stay tuned for those ones here, and we'll be back in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much to say, Ptashim F. Thank you so much for commentating, I guess. I guess you could end it.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.